In this video, I'm going to tell you how to set auto management rules for your projects, campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Let's switch to the Rules Ad Manager section. Here we see two main blocks, a rules filter and a table with rules. Now let's create a new rule. In the name field, I put the name of our project so it will be easier to find our way around the previously created rules. As a comment, you may provide the action that this rule is supposed to perform. The first rule we are going to create will disable all ads that exceed the specified price value in the project settings. We set the value of 10 cents, and when the ad exceeds it, it will stop automatically. Now let's set targeting for the rule. We fill in the following fields: advertiser, traffic type, product name, and project. As an alert description, we specify the action that this rule is supposed to perform. Next goes the level field. You can target the rule on ads, ad sets, campaigns, and projects. In our case, we put the ad level. Then we proceed to conditions. We specify the ad status. And if CPI/price value is greater than or equal to 0.9 as of today, then we'll pause this rule. Okay, so what is this rule about? If an ad is active and the current CPI to price value ratio exceeds 0.9, then this ad will be disabled. We click Save. And the newly created rule appears in the rules grid. Now let's create the second rule. The second rule will activate your ads. As a rule name and comment, we enter the project name and comments to this action. Why do that? Well, it often happens that when an ad is deactivated, the mobile installs keep coming through while the price goes down. To avoid manual activation of ads each time, we will set an auto activation of ads. Let's set targeting. Namely, specify on which project or component it will be applied. We fill in the advertiser, traffic type, product name, and project fields. As a comment, provide the action that the rule is going to perform. For the level, we leave ads. And set status the way we did before. Just select the status paused for this rule. And if CPI price value is less than or equal to 0.9, and also the results of mobile installs in our case are greater than 1, we put today. That is a period for defining data. The rule will only count the today's data. And for the action in the then field, we put activate. Once again, what does this rule do? If an ad is paused, and the current CPI to price value ratio exceeds 9 cents, and there is more than one mobile install, then this ad will be activated. We click Save, and we now see two rules in the grid. Now, let's create the third rule for the budget increase. Why do we need this rule? It is often used in the case of Facebook. For instance, if you buy with the minimum budget but high bid, in order to not increase the budget for a small sum each time, we can set the auto management rule that will be automatically increased by the budget by percentage or a fixed value once at a certain time. For a rule name, we enter the project name. As a comment, we specify the action of this rule. Then move on to targeting. For an alert description, we enter budget up. Finally, let's pick ad set for the level. Because the budget is usually set for ad sets, now let's set a condition. If status is active and the spent/ad set budget is greater than or equal to 0.9 as of today, and an additional condition budget is less than or equal to $50. As an action, we set then increase budget by 10%. Now what does this rule do? If the status of our ad set is active and the current spent to budget ratio is greater than 90% as of today, and the budget is less than $50, why did we put $50 here? So that this rule does not increase the budget indefinitely. We increase the budget by 10% and click Save. And now we've got 3 rules. Last but not least, we need to create the bid increasing rule. As a common practice when launching a new project, we cannot predict at what bid the traffic will be running for this application or for set targeting. For this reason, we may set the auto bid adjustment rule, let's say until we get 10 clicks. In your case, you can set the rule that will work when a certain number of impressions or results is reached. Here I indicate the value of 10 clicks. Let's create a rule. For a rule name, enter the project name. As a comment, we put bid up. Moving on to the targeting section, we fill in alert description field and pick ad set for the level. We will change bids on ad sets. Now it's time to set rule conditions. If status is active and there are less than or equal to 10 clicks for the lifetime ad set performance, and we also set the minimum and maximum bid limits so that the rule only works within the set range of values, greater than or equal to 1 cent. And bid info actions is less than or equal to $2. We also set an additional condition. Once at a certain time, this rule must work out. And I put more than 3 hours. We set the action, then increase bid by 10%. The condition is ready. What is it meant for? If your ad set is active, and there are less than 10 clicks for the whole period of ad set performance, and the bid exceeds the value of 1 cent but is not above $2, in this case, every 3 hours the system will increase the bid by 10%. We click Save. Now let's see if the auto management is active for other project components. Firstly, switch to projects. Here the auto management is on. And check if it's active for the campaigns as well. Once the campaigns is active, AdSec's active, and on ads also active, let's go back to the auto management section. One more thing to acknowledge, this auto management functionality implies the notification system. Just fill these checkboxes, and every time the rule works out, you'll receive a related notification via email. Also, there will be a system alert in the form of a red button next to the Create Campaign button. That's it for now. In the next video, I'm going to tell you how to work with statistics and set auto reporting via email.